This is the Fifth Estate, coming to you from the Fort Hall School of Government in Nairobi, Kenya, and Professor Mutahi Ngunyi. This Sunday, we will demonstrate how Ruto will fall in 2027. First, the opposition will field many candidates. Uhuru has already endorsed Fred Matiangi, and he has ordered his party to work with the son of the soil, aka Gachagua. Perfect plan. But one day after this endorsement, Kalonzo has balked. He has declared that he is the only presidential candidate in opposition. Also, a valid point. Very soon, Martha Karua, also known as Mother Superior, will tell us that it is her turn to become president. And she is right. Uhuru stole her birthright. She was the legitimate heir to Kibaki in the Kikuyu nation. And of course, son of the soil, aka Riggy G, will also be on the ballot in 2027. We must not be fooled by the constitutional nonsense arguing that he cannot run. The man is barred from running only after all court processes are exhausted, including the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court hearing can be delayed through technicalities after the 2027 election. This is how Gachagua will run for president in 2027. It is a constitutional fact.
But if Matiangi, Kalonzo, Gachagua, and Martha Karua are in the ballot, they will all lose to Ruto. The four must unite. They must hang together, or they will be hung separately. But there is a dilemma here. Can Kalonzo step down for Matiangi after stepping down 3 times for Raila, losing 15 political years? Is he willing to step down for a 4th time, wasting 20 years of his political ambition? What about Gachagua? Is he willing to mortgage his hard-earned Mulima votes for Matiangi or Kalonzo? And if he does it, what does he get? A minister's position? And then there is Mother Superior, aka Martha Karua. What does she get from supporting Kalonzo or Matiangi? Or maybe a better question to ask is this: what is her vote worth beyond nuisance value? No offense here. We know that Uhuru Kenyatta is a crafty fox. But how will he get these wildcats to back one opposition candidate? Here is the strategy. Uhuru will field all the 4 candidates, including Eugene Wamalwa, and force a runoff in 2027. The best amongst them will face Ruto in a re-election. And this is how the opposition candidate will be selected.
In the history of our politics, Kenya has never experienced a runoff election. This happens if the leading candidate does not marshal 50% plus 1 votes. In this case, the first 2 candidates must face off in a re-election after 30 days. Let's assume that Matiangi, Uhuru's project, becomes number 2. He has to run against Ruto in a fresh election. But this scenario will spring out new dynamics for the defeated candidates. If Ruto wins, he will serve for another 5 years. If Matiangi wins, he will serve for 10 years. A Ruto victory gives Kalonzo a 5-year break. But a Matiangi victory gives Kalonzo another 10-year break in the cold. If you were Kalonzo, what would you do? A rational player will go with what serves him best. And waiting for 5 years is better than 10. In a runoff, therefore, Kalonzo will switch sides and support Ruto. In fact, if the Uhuru coalition does not endorse Kalonzo, he will cut a deal with Ruto for 2027 election. If Ruto is about to make Raila president of AU, Kalonzo can trust Ruto to make him president in 2032. Between this promise and the Uhuru gamble with Matiangi, which is better?
There is another twist. Who told you that Raila will not be in the ballot in 2027? This is a naive assumption that Kenyans have made. But to be fair to Raila, this man loves country, and he's not stupid. Uhuru did a handshake with him in 2018 and gave him nothing, zero. Then Ruto did a handshake with Raila. Now Raila is being treated as co-president locally and internationally without the stress of managing the madness of Kenyans. Is this good, or is this good? One more thing. In 2022, Uhuru tried to make Raila president. Uhuru had the deep state, the system, and the subsystem. Yet he failed. He was beaten by Ruto hands down, a man of simple means. In the eyes of Babaman, Uhuru is incompetent. If he could not make him president in 2022, how will he make him president in 2027? This week, Uhuru convened the deep state that fed Raila in 2022. The story was in the Standard newspaper and TV47. Then they promised Matiangi the presidency in 2027, or Kalonzo, or whoever. But if Uhuru could not make Raila president when he was in power, how will he make Matiangi president out of power? This, dear Kenyans, is a total waste of our national imagination.